Welcome everybody to RVT. This is RVT Rasheed's video tube. In conjunction with JC Rasheed's Music Jukebox Center, and I am Rasheed the Iron Man, coming alive on social media, Google, YouTube, and other social media platforms. How you guys doing out there? It's been a while. You know, I slept on my fucking microphone, dude. I swear to God, I slept on it. And I was hoping that it still worked. I was going to do it. And I was going to do what, baby, you know, I'm telling them the situation. And right before I was about to do it, I fell asleep on the air. I fell asleep. And I almost crushed the fuck out of my microphone. I'm glad it still works. I'm very fortunate it still works. So, glad you guys are here. Welcome to my house, guys. Y'all see the lace on the screen. This is we're gonna continue to look at shit around. We're gonna continue to look at stuff around. God damn it.
In the name of Satan, the ruler of earth, king of the world, open wide the gates of hell and come forth to greet me as your brother and friend. Grant me the indulgences of which I speak, for I live in the beasts of the field, rejoicing in the fleshly life.
Let me see. Okay. I'm all set now. I got a note out here. Let me see. Open up the page and shit in it. Welcome officially. God.
Tiggle bitty anthem. Hi, my name is Kirsten, and I have double D's. It's really not as glamorous as everybody thinks. Wear two bras when I'm running, cause I need the support. And going down the stairs is a high contact sport. I have a little waist, and I'm shaped like a snack. But when I turn sideways, my shirt becomes a sack. I've always been self-conscious and I've covered them up well. But now I let them do their thing, cause these girls fun as hell.
Come on, you guys, the sun's already up. It's gonna be a golden day.
Let's eat.
Oh, those golden grahams. Oh, those golden grahams. Crispy, crunchy graham cereal, family breakfast treat. Oh, those golden grahams. Oh, those golden grahams. Golden honey, just a touch with Graham's golden wheat.
It's a great tasting part of a complete breakfast for the whole family.
Try those golden grahams and have a golden day.
NorthSheed. We was about to say the other thing. See, we way off. Way off. And we did right, see? I'm talking about conspicuous. Conspicuous is whatever that fucking word is. I'm talking it up. Let me turn this down. Wait a minute. Okay. Constituous. conspicuous, whatever the hell that's what I'm talking to. So, okay, we did write this down. Alright, here it is. Here's the information right here. So, we're going to keep looking at stuff around NorthSheed. Alright? And, of course, y'all know Linda Lace has an animation on RVT. I'm thinking about moving her to Rashid Cyber 2. That's just what I'm thinking about doing. Moving her to Rashid Cyber 2. Because the show is kind of raunchy. It is. It's kind of raunchy. And I just think she looks better on Cyber 2. That's just my opinion about it. I don't know. So, it's debatable. We're trying to decide if we're going to go in that direction or not with hence the adventures of Linda Lace. I don't know. Alright, she lives in the city NorthSheed. Alright, the state of the city is Sadiksi. And the street, well, I ain't gonna tell you where she lives at. But she lives on White Nut Street. We'll just leave it like that. It's the city of the pumpkin, right? It's the city of the pumpkin. Like New York is the Big Apple, and Jersey is the Garden State, and Philadelphia is the Cheese State. This is the city of the pumpkin, and I think a goldfish, right? If I'm not, yeah, I think it's a goldfish. They have the animal representation of a goldfish. Let me put that down here. Animal rep. Goldfish. Okay. I think it's a goldfish or something else. I don't know. We'll know as we go. Okay. And, but this time, here's the difference, guys. You should get a kick out of this. Y'all should get a real kick out of this. Because this time, we're not going to be looking at things in the city per se. You know, we're not going to be looking at things like buildings and stuff. Now we're going to zero in on another aspect of the city. Alright? And that aspect is the people. What kind of people that's in this NorthSheed. Now, we came across a comic. We came across a comic where Linda Lace is walking by. And you got two neighbors out there talking shit. And her head is full of cherries or something like that, just like her father. Because they talk about me too. I'm a cartoonist and she's my daughter and everything. And y'all know that on a book club, it's the other part to this. You know, this fiasco and shit. So, yeah. Well, they walking by and two women are talking. But it's rare that we show, but in a comic, because she came from the Rashid comics. You know, she came from Rashid comics, so it's no surprise that you'll see stuff like, you know, like other people. But when you watch the animation, you hardly see any people at all. You hardly see any people at all. Not surprisingly, because I guess, you know, you want to focus on Linda. You know, you don't want to focus on, you know, other people and what they got to say and all. Every now and then we surprise you with, well, not necessarily that's not the reason. It's just there's no place for them. And after all, when you really think about it, when you really think about it, what are they going to say to Linda? What the fuck kind of conversation they going to hold with her? Usually, I'm not trying to be cynical or anything, but usually, in mainstream, when it's a girl like Linda or something, they give her a black girlfriend or Oriental girlfriend or some kind of shit, you know, to take the weight off of her, you know, because all the weight is on these characters when they appear in these shows. It's a tremendous amount of weight on them, you know, a tremendous amount of weight on them. So they give them this urban girlfriend to help alleviate some of the fucking weight. So Linda ain't got nobody but Roxy. And Roxy, she ain't all fucking there. I mean, she's all there. Don't get me wrong. She's all there. But she's still screwed. You know, she could get tied up in Linda Lee's bullshit. Because they, as kids, that's just the way they was. They went down together and so forth like that. So, but you won't see that kind of shit around here. No urban girlfriends and shit like that. You won't see that kind of stuff. The intelligence is very minimal on the Adventures of Linda Lee's. Very, very minimal. So, what kind of people that exist here? You will probably get that basically on this, what we're doing right now. Basically what we're doing. This is the only way you're going to find out. Else you're going to find out. Because I don't think they're going to be really prominent on an animation cartoon. I don't think so. I don't think so. Unless I come up with a good fucking story. And these people, you ever watch Fat Albert? And Fat Albert, these situations that Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids went through, they evolved, people. And these people weren't prominent in the inside of the cartoon. They were nobodies. So you focused in on these people. Like, you know, you have that sometimes when you're watching animation. These people appear. They could be criminals. They could be stuff like that. And we have shows that Linda is different. Linda is kind of like, her show is kind of like, if I had to put it into words, like, her show is kind of like, oh God, her show is kind of like a play. I was going to try to choose another show, but surprisingly, I'm going to choose like a play. You ever go see a play on stage and there's only a certain amount of actors in it? Alright, Linda Lace is like that. It's like a play that you go see. It's not like a lot of all this other. It's basically her, Roxy, and Cinnamon. That's the girl that works at the hot dog stand. That's it. And I can create out of that. And then my daughter, I'm never going to show myself. I'm not even going to show my voice. You ain't never going to hear my voice unless it's on like a commercial or some shit like that. You know. So, that's the only way you're going to really get into, you know, this other, you know. Because I'm just never going to show up there because it's her show. And it's an all-female show, which is on Rasheed's Doll Nation. That's another thing I'm going to get into. Doll Nation is launched right now. Whether people know it or not, it's launched right now. It's just saying I ain't got it all buckled the fuck up yet. So, with that being said, the people is like what? Or like what? What are we talking about? What are they like? Well, when you really look at, alright, the way I was raised in a slum in Philly. Okay. I'll be damned if I talk about that kind of, those kind of people. I'll be damned if I talk about the streets that you know, I used to walk down. I mean, you could just see it. I'm showing it like, because on YouTube they have people that's in from my neighborhood, and these are the actual streets that I grew up on, man. I swear to God. North Philly, just the worst place in Philadelphia. You know. And when I look at that, a lot of memories come to my mind. How, here's the biggest thing about this North Philadelphia bullshit. Here's the biggest thing about this. Is that there was a time when these were good houses right here. These were really, really good houses all around, and the people were nice. And the projects. See, I'm from the projects. This is not the projects. But you notice how everything became one big project. You know, it was living like this that you see was separated from the rest of society. It was just the projects that was like this. There was no such thing as outside the projects being like this. There was no such thing as it. But it's just showing you that in time, the projects is like it bubbled over into the streets, and everything became. Now you can't really decipher the difference between the projects and the streets no more. Those days are over, and that's now. That's today when you go out there. I don't know how it is because of COVID-19 and everything, but in a nutshell, it's just amazing how it is, and it's so bad that, and yeah, in rural areas, decent areas, you know, Caucasian areas, even, you know, they say they areas the same way with their race, like white. Like the first they moved from trailer trash. White people was trailer trash. Y'all know white people used to, you know, trailer trash. Ain't no more trailers, they don't call it. Now it's just normal. It's bubbled over into their societies now. Just like, you know. And it's amazing how that happened. You know, you don't really hear the trailer trash shit no more. It's just bubbled over to normal society where everything is trailer now over their neighborhoods and stuff. It's like, what the fuck happened there? It's like, you know, nobody's fit to talk about nobody else. Guaranteed. Nobody's fit to talk about nobody else. But what is interesting is that when I look back at these pictures right here, and I see myself walking down the street, hanging out, because that's what I used to do when I got older and all, a tremendous amount of memories come back to my fucking head. And some of them good. Most of the shit, that's what I'm saying. I'll say about 80, when I look at about, to be honest, 70, 30. 70% of it is bad, 30% of it is good. To be honest with you. Guarantee that. 70, and this necessarily is not my neighborhood right here. This necessarily isn't my particular, but still it looked like basically like that. I didn't live around all of this shit like this. My projects was a decent, it was like they took care, it wasn't a shit like this. But still, I walked around and shit. I was in something degrading when we was in the project buildings, but then we moved to the row homes, and row homes ain't that bad. But still, this still the neighborhood. There was like blocks down from where I lived at. And I walked by this shit when I went to night school, when I had dates, when I hung out sometime. And I came from the streets, you know, So it's just amazing how it just bubbled over from the projects to, okay, and now the project's flavor is all over the fucking world now. There's no place you can go to particular to say, okay, this is a decent neighborhood, unless it's a gated community. You know how you go to some residencies and you can't get in there because it's a huge gate and you got to put in identification. But even if they have kids up in there, it's fucked up in there. No doubt about it. If they have the youth up in there, it's going to be fucked up in there too. It's just amazing how there's no more projects no more. It's like the whole city is one big project. You know, everywhere you go is like the projects. Everywhere. I don't give a fuck where is that. Downtown. It's ghetto. It's just all fucking ghetto now. You know, and when I look back at this and shit like this. So, getting back to the issue of Linda Lace's NorthSheed, where she resides at. Her and Roxy and Cinnamon, you know. All memories, dude. All fucking memories looking at this shit. Motherfuckers ain't shit, and, you know, it's good that I'm out of it. But no matter where you are, it's the same fucking thing, dude. It's just a different flavor. It's still the projects. The whole city, the whole world is one big project That's what you get when you don't watch yourself, when you don't take care of yourself, when you go back on your words and shit and you don't really pay attention to shit. That's what kind of stuff happens. You can't blame nobody. That's just what kind of shit happens, you know. Nonetheless, this ain't a show where you point your finger saying it's your fault, it's their fault. It doesn't matter. It's just, it got fucked up. It got fucked up all over the place. Now, we're talking about the people. Alright, we're talking about the people. We're talking about the people. So, what kind, if they're not going to be on a TV show, goddammit, you know, they're not going to be on a TV show, then what kind of people are we going to be looking at? I mean, what are they like? Well, they got to be a certain way, you know? They got to be a certain way. So, I figure we'll talk about the people, guys. Okay, let's talk about the people instead of looking at buildings and stuff. And what kind of people are they? Well, believe it or not, like we talked about the comic about Linda Lee's walking by and they gossiped about her behind her back. The people are like us. They're not so different than us. They're not so different than us. I could say they wild. I could say they wild. Well, I didn't say you. Well, okay, if I did say that, then I stand corrected, because I don't really know if I'm going to feature people on Linda Lee's cartoon. But as it stands, the answer is no. The answer is no. They're not going to be normal, ordinary people. They're not going to be like that, or normal, ordinary people. They're not going to be like today's society. Here's the thing. I totally disagree with the way motherfuckers are today. I totally disagree with the attitudes of people. Alright, nobody ain't never hate no damn Rashid. I don't know where this came from. I don't know where the fuck this came from, where everybody hates Rashid and shit. I don't know, I really couldn't tell you. It's the most weirdest, damnest thing I ever fucking seen, but now everybody hates Rashid for some strange reasons. Reasons unknown to man. You know what I'm saying? Reasons unknown to man type shit. Alright, I'm going back to the 70s and 80s. Why wouldn't I, guys, when the RVT, that's all we are? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Think about it. Why wouldn't I go back to the 60s, 70s, 80s, and probably 50s? Probably 50s. Probably the 50s. Why wouldn't I? Why would I go up to a generation where everybody fucking hates me? Why would I do some shit like that? Why? Can you explain that to me? Why? Why? That don't even make sense. That's fucking ridiculous, dude. It's goddamn ridiculous. I want to go back to the 80s and disco. That's where my heart is. That's where we live at. That's where we dwell at. And I wouldn't have it no other way, man. No other goddamn way. Normal people, man. They like to have fun. When I say normal people, I don't mean, you're going to get people to be like, oh, what you wearing, dude? Or, oh, man, look at your hair. I'm not talking normal in the answer. I'm talking normal people, like unjudgmental. Right now, everything is judgmental. You can't find any good people. I mean, but when you look at the coronavirus incident, you know, you can take a stand back and you think like, well, can you blame them? You know, and shit like that, and it's just up the ass, dude. But still, without getting too far away from the tree, I want to deal with normal people on LinkedIn. What kind of people in NorthSheed are normal people? Right? They like to have fun. You know. And they all agree with the city having full representation of the pumpkin and the marshmallow. The pumpkin and the marshmallow. They okay with that. I guess if they wasn't okay with it, leave. Go someplace else. This is what NorthSheed has. And it's just something they got to deal with. I love this sceneristic picture show right here. I just like this. I just fucking like this. I like talking about Linda Lisa's city like this. You know. I could, you know, they got these open world. I want to make it open world. That's the name they gave it, open world. Like Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. They call it open world. Shit. I like this open world. I like open world stuff. If I like open world stuff like that, like so much, why not create it? I mean, after all, I did advertise Cyberpunk. I did advertise Cyberpunk on RVT. It's not my fault that it was a huge flop. I mean, it was a tremendous, huge flop. I mean, people fighting, trying to get their money back. It was a tremendous disaster, the history of video games. But I feel as though it still was something, you know, to look out for. Now we're not going to check it out. I'm not going to waste my money on it. But I still, since it was anticipated, it ain't our fault that it flopped. Wonder Woman was a disgrace. For y'all people who didn't catch up on Wonder Woman, that Wonder Woman 1984, they say is the worst Marvel movie, DC movie that they ever seen. They say it beat they say that beat what's the name of that? The Hawk, was it? And that's pretty fucking bad. They said that was just. They said she was interested in his dick all through the movie. She interested in dick. The guy was taking. It was his movie. It's like he was the superhero all through the movie. She ain't do shit. All she was doing, she was man hungry all through it. It was about making wishes. And she wished that her boyfriend came back to life. So it was kind of like a Jesus type thing where he got another body to come back to life and shit like that. So they said, in essence, Wonder Woman was raping a man all through the movie. Because she did it without the man's consent. Her boyfriend came back and used a stranger's body to appear in front of Wonder Woman, and she wound up fucking a guy and all that shit. So they were saying, well, Wonder Woman raping a man. She's supposed to be for justice and all this shit, and here she's raping a stranger like that. Is letting his body being used like that without his consent. So that's what they said. Now I didn't say it. That's what they coming up with, speculation about Wonder Woman 84, that she was raping a man all through it. And they say it was the worst movie they ever seen of Wonder Woman. The worst. And the thing about it is, we was going down to see this shit. If COVID-19 wasn't here, we'd have went down to see this shit. And it was a totally waste of time. I mean, a big, huge disappointment. Wonder Woman 1984. Really huge disappointment. So all you get is failure all through fucking shit. Now, why do we talk about? We're just randomly talking about something. Okay, well that's understandable. It's not really really nothing bad to say about that. Randomly talking, we allowed to do that. We do that from time to time. But we're talking about what kind of, first we was looking at things, buildings and so forth inside NorthSheed. Now we come to people in general. They're people like you and I. Okay, in a nutshell, just to clarify things. They're people like you and I. Alright, they're not too out of the way. They're not too weird. They, some, they call them pigeon towns. You go to some places, they like pigeon town people. They walk around nosy and and you go to, everybody knows. If I go to a place personally, if we move to a place and it's like everybody knows everybody in this town, I'll move the fuck out of there. I swear to God, I don't feel comfortable like that. But there's so many places like that. Some people feel comfortable. Well, that's what I'm saying. Some people feel comfortable in places like that. We don't. I don't. I don't like nobody. It's not the fact I don't like nobody knowing my business, because I got no business. I have no real business. But the thing is, I like privacy. And that's one of the reasons why I want to be a Hollywood celebrity, because I like privacy. But yet and still, in a nutshell, you get these places where, I love privacy. I need my privacy. And y'all know, you know that. We need our privacy. I don't like people all in my fucking shit. Though I ain't got nothing to hide, I just like to be myself, I like to be myself, and I like my privacy. That's why I can't be a Hollywood celebrity. They got no privacy, really. Not really, they got no privacy. And I can't have that. So, I'll move out of there. If I went to a pigeon town, everybody knows each other. I will want to move out of there. I'm not a newsy. I'm a newsy person, but in a sense, if the news come to me, I wouldn't go out looking for the news. You see what I mean? These people that's in NorthSheed are like that in a way. They mind their business and all, but everybody knows shit. Everybody sense shit, but don't say nothing. They're very tight knit. It's a very tight knit city. It's a very huge city. Everybody knows shit, but nobody talks about shit. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I adapted off the projects. Like, that's how it was when I was a child coming up. Out of respect in the 70s, you had a lot of people that knew shit, but they didn't talk about shit. We knew the neighborhood whore. We knew what somebody's mother did for a living. And every now and then we'd crank on them or bust on them or something like. But it never was an issue. We don't give a fuck about it. All right, in some communities, in some cities, some communities, these neighborhoods give a fuck about it and they make it an issue. You know what I'm saying? All right, what I'm trying to say is NorthSheed is not like that. That's what I'm trying to say. She lives in a good fucking part, a good city. NorthSheed is a good city. If she travel out, if Linda Leach travel out somewhere, and they look at her and say, "Where you from?" She say, "NorthSheed." Somebody will understand. Just like somebody will say, look at somebody freaky dressing and say, "Where you from?" And they say, "Los Angeles." They say, "Okay, I knew it. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? NorthSheed is like that because I won't say it's empty-headed people in there. I'm not going to say like it's a bunch of empty-headed people, stuff like that, but what I will say is that it's just a different place where you can be yourself. And so what, they're a little airheaded. So they still do disco. There's some places they got all-night discos. They got 80s themes and shit like that. So she lives in a place like that. Very, very, it's not that uncomfortable, It's not that uncomfortable. I'm not going to go like everybody's a family. But everybody have these suspicions of what's going on and shit like that. It's simple. Very, very simple. The people in NorthSheed are very, very simple. They like you and I. They just want to live someplace peaceful without all the fucking bullshit. And they have it. And they have it. It's that simple. They have it. I always compare Linda Lace to a candy bar. Yeah, candy bar. She says candy bar. I say candy bar. It says it's like you scream, we scream, we all scream for ice cream. So me and Linda Lace say candy bar. We just say candy bar. When things get complicated, we say candy bar. She knows what that means. I know what that means. It means don't stress, don't beat yourself. Like my study teachers tell me, don't fucking beat yourself. Calm down. Calm the fuck down. Life ain't that complicated. Life ain't that, it's screwed up. It's screwed up. But calm down. Life isn't that difficult. So me and Linda Lace say candy bar. We say candy bar. We do. Saying candy bar helps us out. I can't say cherries. That's a good one. I can't say right, because Linda Lace feel a certain way about cherries. She act crazy. That's not calming her down. It would be nice if I could say cherries, though. But I can't. But I can't, We got peanut brittle. Yeah, we got peanut brittle. We say that too, but she know that's one of my favorite candy bars. Still a candy bar. It's just it's a different kind of candy bar. I feel a certain way about that because they had these things where you could sell candy in schools in the 70s. They went to the students and said if you could sell the most candy, you could get a prize. So you had the mothers that gave a fuck about their children. You know what I'm saying? And they would go with their children from door to door and stuff like that, like a Jehovah's Witness, selling candy. These mothers gave a fuck about their children. And then then we laughed at them. We was the cool kids. We was the tough kids. We sat back and laughed at them and said, look, they selling candy. They're actually going for that shit. That's the way we looked at it. Like, they're actually going for that selling candy bullshit. So, they selling candy. They did it every year in school. Every year they selling candy. Now, they had a special assembly program. We goes down there, and on the stage in assembly in school, they had bicycles, they had computers, they had, and we looking at all, now, being from the projects, being a poor child, not a poor child, we was average, we weren't that poor. You sitting there looking at this shit on stage, this brand new stuff. I mean, this stuff was brand new. Some of the shit had ribbons on it. Bicycles had ribbons on it. And all of that stuff, we wonder, what's all that stuff? Who's getting all of this shit? For the projects, the child would be going off. Like, look at that stuff on the stage. Oh, this going to all the kids that sold the most candy. It's time for their reward. Now, everybody looking like, oh, I should have sold candy. Now, who out there listening to this remember that shit? You're sitting back looking stupid with your friends and laughing at these guys from going door to door with their parents selling candy. We laughing, we thinking shit funny. Now it's time for them to get rewards from selling the candy. It ain't funny now. Now we sitting there looking stupid and shit. In fact, some of them motherfuckers was like, I want to see who get that bike because I'm going to take that shit. You know how kids act. Tough kids is like that. I want to see who get these awards. Everybody who got these presents, these prizes, were homebodies. Yeah, they never came outside and played with nobody. They had parents that give a fuck about it, They never came outside and played around. They was always staying in the house and stuff like that. You never went up to never, ever, ever. And I don't know how many of you guys listening to this have, but I never approached somebody and said, wait, and was around and just walked in a conversation of somebody saying, where did you get that bike from? Oh, I sold the candy. Oh, that's the guy that sold the candy. He got that bike and it's in front of me and I'm sitting there looking at it. That shit never happened to me. Anything. They had radios. Let me tell you what they had. They had bicycles. They had radios. They had board games. They had baseball, sports attire. Baseball bats, gloves, baseball gloves, footballs, transistor radios. I don't know if I mentioned that. Transistor radios, all kind of funky. They had 8-track, like turntables. I mean, the most awesomest prizes, dude. Even stuffed animals. If you just sold like 4 candies or 5 candies, you got like a stuffed animal or something like that. Meaning you didn't have to sell a lot to get these stuffed animals. You didn't have to sell a lot. And you long for this shit. Like every child at that time said, I'm a dumbass. I could have did it. But when the teacher was in class and she was explaining to us what this selling candy was all about, if you was a cool person going out and talking to people, that was bullshit. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going out selling no candy, talking to strangers. You can forget that. And that's what a lot of kids were saying. Even myself. I was a spiritual. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, so I would say, ain't no way I'm doing that. It's bad enough if we're going out preaching on people's doors, knocking on people's doors, telling them about the Bible. But now I'm going to just go sell candy. I said, get the fuck, I ain't doing that shit, dude. But the point I'm trying to make is every child says something of that nature. They said, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing it. And then when it was time for the award, for the people, for these kids to get their reward, it was the whole stage was covered with prizes. And they was busy calling them on stage, and the kids was smiling, and you can see they was dressed nice. They weren't wearing hand-me-down shit like us. They had parents that give a fuck about them. Not saying your parents don't give a fuck about you guys. That's not what I'm saying. I just want to clarify that. It's just that my parents didn't give a fuck about it. My friends' parents didn't give a fuck about it. I know that shit. You can forget that. No, baby, you laughing. I'm serious. My friends' parents didn't give a fuck about it. You can believe that. So they go and we take the candy home. It was a conversation amongst the kids when we got home, because it came in like a mail, like you get some mail in your mailbox. It came in like an envelope like that, real thick. So it came with a lot of stuff in it. So all the kids in the neighborhood got together and was looking at the prizes. So it was discussionable amongst the kids. And we started looking at the candies and stuff. It was a discussion. But when it was time to go and work to get the shit, not one child did it. Not in my fucking neighborhood. Not one child did it. I've seen a child selling candy with their parents in our neighborhood. I have seen that. I have seen that. And they say, oh look, that's a child selling candy. And me and my friends was just looking. And we couldn't do nothing because the parent was there. You know. But if they was by themselves, oh, it would have been all hell. And y'all know that shit. But they was right with their parents selling this candy and stuff. And I guess it made for good, what do you call it? Self-esteem. I guess a child doing that will have good self-esteem. It builds their self-esteem, because I know being a Jehovah's Witness, going knocking on doors and all, build up my self-esteem, not to be scared of strangers. You know, it helped me out. So I'm sure that it's healthy in some way to do that for a child, to sell, to talk to strangers and try to get them to sell things. To buy things, right? What have you. So I'm pretty sure some great advantages for a child to do that. So we saw that. But I never seen a child with a gift from it in front of my damn face. I never fucking seen it. I don't know how many people out there have. We have it. The candy they were selling was some of the delicious candy you ever seen. And that peanut brittle was one of the focuses of the candies. I mean, it just made your mouth water. You just wanted it so fucking much. And one of the best candies out there is the peanut brittle. Now, it's not a payday. It's different from a payday. Yeah, it's different from a payday. A payday tastes a little bit salty in it. It's nougat, but it tastes a little salt, like a little. Yeah, it tastes a little. A payday. This has no salty taste in it whatsoever. The peanut brittle is just all sugar. All sugar. Paydays have a little saltiness in it, but yet and still, it made your mouth water for these candies that they were selling. So this kind of stuff, right, like this, goes on in NorthSheed. That's what the people are into, stuff like that. So there are people like us, and that's why Linda is so light-headed with things, and Roxy is also, because that's how the people are. You're gonna be the same way, how you are. You're gonna act out the same way. You're not gonna be like me. All right, take me first. All right, yeah, okay, all right, perfect example. I grew up around ignorance. I ain't gonna lie. The adults are more ignorant than the children. 9 times out of 10, that's the way it is. Because children can't be too ignorant. Because either the parents gonna kick their ass, or the neighbor's gonna report the parents for letting their child be ignorant. So children got more respect than adults nowadays. It always been that way in history. So, but the thing is, we grew up with morals. We grew up with watching role models that were decent, not about violence. And the criminals never got away with shit. The criminals never, ever, ever fucking got away with nothing. Ever. Nowadays, children are watching criminals starring in own movies and TV shows. See, it's a difference. Criminals never got away with shit. And our heroes and leaders had common sense. They walked around, talked normal. They didn't use slang. We watched Charlie Brown and stuff like that, and they were examples of us of how to communicate with each other, how to deal with each other. So it's like that. So no matter how ignorant the place was, some of us kids stayed intact. I was one of them. Now my brothers, on the other hand, and some kids grew up out of that. For some reason, they got I'm looking at this fucking thing. I'm about to do this. So they got the adults in their in their lifestyle, and somehow the adults changed them. I don't know how they did it. It's a mystery to me. But some of my good friends wind up being bad and running with the bad crowds. And how did they switch from being a nice child to being a fucking a criminal, a bad person? I don't understand it. I kept my decency. I kept my decency. I don't know how many other children kept their decency, but I kept my decency. And I never came across somebody who kept their decency. I never did. I had a best friend. Me and him was really close. Really, really close, like brothers. Really like brothers. We were like brothers. And as we got older, he had an older brother named Rob. Well, I shouldn't say his name, but he had an older brother. And as we got older, he got me hit. I ran across him. He's like, Rashid, what's good? We gave each other a big hug because he was like my brother. We got into all kind of mess together. In fact, y'all don't even want to know what kind of shit. We was like Beavis and Butthead in the sky. We was just fucking idiots. So as we got older, I came across him. We gave each other a hug. He said, come on my house for the weekend. So I said, you're fucking right. I want to see what you up to, because we were adults. We were like almost 20 years old. All right, when we ran together, we was like 10 and 9 years old. We was in grade school. So when we went to junior high school, that's when we got separated. I think the last time I saw him, he got his ass kicked. We was walking home from school, and he got his ass kicked because of something he did to some guys in school. So I'm like, what the fuck happened? What you do, man? So we walking home, and he got his ass kicked again by another group of guys. So I'm like, dude, you gotta, he was a fucking prick. He was just an asshole. So what happened was, later on in life, I was almost 20 years old. I ran in 20. And we gave each other a hug. It's like, Rachi, come on my house and see something. I go over his house. I'm like 19 years old, 20 years old. I noticed he had a huge porn. It was his older brother's house. His older brother was cool as shit. He was. His mother couldn't stand him, but his older brother was cool as shit. His porn collection filled up like 3 closets. And I remember thinking to myself, like, God damn, man. All this pornography, dude? Then I noticed that, I swear to God, I noticed that he, inside one of the rooms, in like the first floor where we was at in his house, it was a huge bed with one of those, those aluminum foil lights that, Hollywood shit. What it was is that his brother was making porn movies. So, okay. His brother make pornography movies, dude. So I'm laughing my fucking ass off, because I know his older brother. And I'm like, y'all make porn movies in this motherfucker. The house is spotless. It's the most prettiest house you ever fucking seen in your life, dude. Not a piece of dust. Nowhere. So my buddy was like, yeah, check it out, man. Yeah. So I'm like, he said, we can stay here for a while, because I got to watch my little nephew. And my brother got to make errands and do business. So I said, okay, I'll stay with you. We spent the whole weekend. Now, he goes in the closet and pulls out a bag of weed the size of like a loaf of bread. I swear to God, this guy goes in the closet and pulls out some goddamn fucking pot. And it filled up like a loaf of bread bag. And we sat there and smoked that shit and was watching porn. That's all we did all weekend long. And we ate food. And I never had a more enjoyable time in my fucking life. That was one of the times, and y'all guys know this in my cult, these guys, my kids, and y'all know that I talk about this. I can't get over how much I enjoyed myself. Because me and him were best friends from childhood, and the shit we was talking about was just funny as fuck, dude. and we sitting there smoking this shit, and some good shit too, and we watching porn, and we ate all, and that's what we did Friday, Saturday, and fucking Sunday. That's all we did. And Monday morning, his brother come home and lose his fucking mind. The first thing you do is go over there, grab his child. Why y'all got my child around this shit, man? And he talking my best friend, man, what are you doing, man? We made a big mess, dude. It was like all around the TV set was like a pig pen. It was food all on the floor and everything. He lost his damn mind. He said, oh, I don't believe this shit, man. Y'all been... And we just had a fucking... But it was funny. It was just one of our adventures that we went through. But the point of the matter is, it was just hilariously fun, dude. I never, ever, ever had fun like that being... mixed up in like this pornography world thing. These guys really know how to have fun, dude. I swear to fucking God, dude. So, NorthSheed definitely has shit like that in it. Definitely has stuff like that in it, dude. You know, I couldn't believe that my best friend's brother was into making porn movies. I had no idea, dude. I had no fucking idea, man. No idea. And it just shocked me. I saw the cameras and light bulbs all around the same bed we sitting in all weekend long. The cameras aimed at the bed and everything, and we sitting right on that same bed smoking weed, looking at porn movies that my best friend's brother made and shit. And the house looked rich. It's a rich house. Man, this is nice. And I was right in the pornography world. I said, oh my God, this is awesome. It did something to me. I said, man, I never had that much fun. That was one of the times I had, man, the shit we was fucking doing, dude. So it was just fun shit. So NorthSheed has that kind of stuff. It's those kind of people. You know, we're just lively people. You know, we're just lively people. Like to have fun, and that's what I wanted to create it for Linda Lace, you know, bringing shit home and everything. What time? It was just amazing how having the opportunity to talk about this right now, and Linda Lace, where she lives at and everything. You know, like, it's just to be able to create it and say, okay, it's not going nowhere. You know, when you look in the world today, pornography changed. The world of porn changed. You know, if you go try to hang out with the people in their houses, it's COVID-19. How you gonna be a porn star with COVID-19 and shit? You know, it's all kind of shit fucked up now. So the world changed. The porn world changed. When I've been through, that's what I'm saying. It was in the 80s when I was over there. It was a world. You know, pornography is a world. It was a world. It was, you know. The most fun world I ever been in, man. And I was hooked. I swear I was hooked, dude. I said, this is the life. I was sitting there high off marijuana and looking at all the pornography stuff all over the place. Everything clean and rich looking and pure and white and glass tables and artifacts and everything. And they did porn and the nice expensive cameras. And we sitting up there with a nice TV, smoking weed, plenty of food and snacks everywhere. I said, man, this is the fucking life here, dude. I swear to God, and I was hooked. And I was definitely hooked on it, man. To live a prestigious life. What's that word? A dubious life. You know, I can't fuck with that ordinary stuff, man. I mean, normal life shit is good, and I give all credit to it, but I came from that, and I can't fuck with that normal life stuff. So the only thing that's saving my ass afloat is God. Is spirituality. That's the only thing saving my ass afloat. trying to do the right thing, not sin. That's the only thing. That's my wrath. My life wrath is the Almighty God. That's my life wrath, because I don't know how far I will go into the game without my goddess. I don't know, because I do know that kind of lifestyle is what I'm. And if you look at me, you can tell. I'm that kind of guy. I'm that kind of guy. I've been asked to be a male stripper before. I charged women before. I have done that. I met some guy who wanted to get me into it professionally before. Be a rich woman's escort. Stuff like that. I've been in that world and been offered, and I turned it down. I've been offered to be a model. I already was a child model, and as I got older, somebody approached me and tried to be a real model. So all of this kind of world, this world right here, is an interest to me, to be like, how should I say? It's a word that is right on my tip of my tongue, but it's a world, it's a lifestyle where you produce yourself. You rent yourself out for a good cause, not for a bad cause. You're going to get something in return. I'm not saying that the pornography life is the right way to do shit, but you will get stuff in return. The only time I came close to that, I don't even want to talk about it, because there's some things I'd rather not share with you guys. But the point is, I have no shame in it. I really have no shame in it. But at the same time, if you're not enjoying your life, dude, then when you get a certain age, is what it all boils down to is this. When you get a certain age, you're going to have a tremendous amount of regrets, because certain things you can never ever be again. Never. You know why? Because your age. Right now, when you're young, you don't see it, dude. You don't fucking see it. But when life creeps up on you and you get a certain age, you turn around and say, you know what? If I knew life was going to be like this, I would have did this, that, and this and that. You see what I'm saying? You wind up talking and thinking like that. And the thing about that is, that kind of talking and thinking don't go away. Some people are haunted with it all the time. I should have took that offer. I should have did this. I should have did that. What I'm trying to say is, life is about experimentation. There's nothing wrong with trying out this and trying out. There's nothing wrong with that, because the same people that's telling you not to do this and not to do that, they don't live your life. You're never going to see them again. 9 times out of 10, you're never going to see them again. And you done missed out on some opportunity. How many times do you think opportunity will knock at your fucking door? You'll be lucky if it knocks one time. You see the point? So I'm not ashamed of anything that I've been through. Not a goddamn thing, dude. Even when I'm doing on social media now with Linda Lace, not a goddamn thing. Because when life go by and you shitting and pissing on yourself, and you got nothing and did nothing, you gonna get shell shocked. Your memories is gonna whip your ass because you didn't have a nice time and do what you want to do to live freely. Do stuff to make you happy, not to impress people. Do stuff to make you happy, and that's what Linda Lace does for me. She makes me happy, and I created her all of a sudden on RVT. I created her, and I can't get out of her ass. I do have other shows and everything coming up, but y'all know that. But we got time for that. There's no rush in that. Being though it's the new year and everything, there's no rush in that. I'm trying to build this girl's life up so we can have some kind of feminism around here that we don't have. We don't have no feminism around here. And that's what I'm building her up, so we can have some feminists around here. But one thing's for sure, I'm so proud. I am so goddamn proud to say I have her around here. This show right here, this sceneristic picture show. That's what it is, about scenes, about her neighborhood that I'm building up, which you guys see on the animation, The Adventures of Linda Lace, and the Rasheed Book Club. I talk about her, and along with other books also, not just her. You know, I just got to see her as being a real person in order for me to bring her to life. I got to see her as being real. She's a break from this everyday bullshit that I'm going through. You know, anybody can do what I do. You know, she's my escape from all this bullshit that the world is going through. She's my escape. And I've never been more satisfied, happier than working with her, than creating her and doing this stuff. I've never been more happier, dude. Never been. But it's just, I'm getting back to the porn thing. You know, he said he ain't tell me that shit. I don't know. Did he think I wasn't gonna come over his house? He's my best friend. I would have came over. I wouldn't have been scared. That world don't scare me, dude. That world do not scare me, dude. In fact, I got hooked on it. I said, I like this, man. I like this world here. I didn't know it was so, you know, but you got to be careful of the snakes in it. And it's very, very shocking. That world is very, very shocking. You know, it's all rich stuff all around and swimming pools and all this, and you could just be free and have fun. And they do porn too. They just take off their clothes. What the fuck? So it's just I was just like mesmerized. Like, this is awesome. I never had that much fun before. I did. It was a fucking awesome world. You got good friends that stick behind your back and everything. I tell you, because you got to be tough, and they'll bust a hole in your ass. They're good friends that stick behind your back and every fucking thing. So I ain't gonna waste too much time on this goddamn microphone. I'm not gonna say goddamn this Linda Lace city, this NorthSheed. I'm not gonna say that, because this is awesome. I like this, and hey, this is fun, and we're gonna do it again. Now we're not finished with the people. How about that? Next time, maybe I'll pull some people on here and we'll talk about them. I don't know. Well, I'm not finished with the people though. Maybe we are, but I don't know. We gotta wait and see. But just for the heads up, the people in NorthSheed, just in case we are finished with the people, just in case we are finished with the people, just in case we are. NorthSheed, the people are like us. You know, they like us, and they're not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they like us. They like us. They like to have fun like us. Used to. I gotta quote that. The way we was back in the day. I say the 70s and the 80s. Okay, right there. They like us right there. I had to quote that. I had to go back and correct. You gotta be out your fucking mind. Everybody too cool now. Everybody too. I don't know what they are now. Everybody just walking. The coolness wearing off of everybody. I can see it melting away. Now everybody acting what? I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know. But I guess what? Ain't around this motherfucker here. And no offense to nobody, but his shit ain't right here. So everybody is not like these people today. When I say like us. Alright, let's get that straight. I'm talking about people in the set. Don't forget what y'all listening to. Listen. You don't hear music like that, man. You don't hear music like that, guys. Alright, this is the way we like the 70s and the shit like that. Alright, maybe we'll come back here. I'll bring y'all back here. We'll have some more fun. We need to leave this list out right here. This list right here. Because we ain't finished writing on it. I'm sure it's going to grow. So let's go ahead and get out of here. Guys, thanks a lot for coming by, spending time over, well, kind of my house. We had some entertainment. We'll mess with Linda Lace again. We'll do this again. Thanks, guys. Once again, And stay safe, all right? Wear a mask, self-distance, and let's hope for the best, okay? And Happy New Year to everybody. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.